started. Agita looks dangerous to me in third.
Youth. Arts. Culture.
Spectrum. Youth, Arts, Culture. Every Tuesdays, 11:50 a.m., bringing you current issues, tips, insights, and more. Only on TRAXXfm.
Experience the excitement right here on TRAXXfm.
This is Trax Momentum with me, Diyana. Today we are on Spectrum and we're having a chat with Nurul, Azwa, Rodzi, the Chief Executive Officer of Selangor Youth Community, or SEY. And it is really, really exciting because we're talking about New Year, new skills. Now, this is incredible for those of you who happen to be part of the youth category, or if you happen to know anyone who is young, who's looking for a bit of a change or to gain knowledge or even experiences. Well, you could definitely listen in right now because, yeah, we're going to talk to Azwa about this at the moment. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting.
Not a problem at all. Okay, so for the benefit of our listeners, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit more?
Hi, my name is Azwa. I'm the CEO of Selangor Youth Community and Yayasan Raja Muda Selangor. Basically, those two are the sister organisation under the patronage of His Highness Crown Prince of Selangor. I've been with the company, with SEY, since I was an intern. 6 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've definitely seen it go through all sorts of transitions and different phases.
Yep.
And now that you are the CEO of it, like, that's kind of madness. All right, well, that's fantastic. But okay, for you there that's listening right now, in case you didn't know, Azwa has happened to have way more experience when it comes to community engagement, community building, because I'm looking at what you have achieved so far in your life. Even back in university days, you had been leading communities like Malaysian students in Australia and whatnot. So let me just say the reason why I'm highlighting this is because we need you to know that Azwa really is here to try to make a difference for the youth. So to start off with, and we want to get to know SEY a little bit more, can you share with us what Selangor Youth Community is and their achievements so far?
Thank you, Diyana. Selangor Youth Community, or shortly known as SEY, we are a non-profit organisation founded by His Highness Crown Prince of Selangor, Tengku Amir Shah Ibni Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah Al-Haj. So basically, SEY, we provide opportunities and programs for young people in our 4 focus areas: entrepreneurship, sports and wellness, arts and creative, and community service. Up to date, we have impacted and reached out to more than 300,000 young people, not just in Selangor, but also in other states in Malaysia, and some numbers are also from the ASEAN young people.
Okay, all right. So what kind of programs are offered and who's it for, basically?
So basically, our beneficiaries, majority are young people from the age of secondary school students all the way up to 30 years old majority, and some programs we offer to up to 35 years old, depending on the programs.
Oh, wait, so 35 means youth also, is it? If you're watching me on Facebook right now, I'm basically like, very proud of myself because I'm 34. And
oh, you look young. You look like 20.
I try. So yeah, so you were saying that, so this is, it goes from high school students and then you even have programs for 35 years old. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
No worries. So basically, there's a debate about the age limit for the young people. Basically, I think before this, it used to be until 40 years old. And then we try to put ourselves aligned with the international standards, so 15 to 25, but then we are not ready yet. So I think before this, the previous minister tried to put it until 30 years old.
Right.
And in Selangor, we are trying to balance it out until 35. So I think in Malaysia, there's a bit of confusion about the age limit. So, yeah. So anyway, so at SEY, we have carried out over 200 programs and events with about 10 flagship programs with targeted beneficiaries across the 4 focus areas. So basically, each focus area, we have the 200 funded programs comprises of the mass and also targeted programs. So the mass is kind of like a one-off programs that were open to youth in general, whereas the targeted, the flagship programs, based on the each focus areas, mainly to cater the gap in the ecosystem. So basically, when we started pre-establishment back in 2016, we did so many engagement with the grassroots, with the community leaders, with our partners, government, private, to see what are the gaps in the ecosystem, so that when SAY came into the picture, we did not, be redundant with other people. So why should we, right? So for example, of the programs, the good thing about filling the gap in the ecosystem is that it allows us to be more sustainable. Because nobody else doing it. For example, our SAY program is a structured and comprehensive OKU, people with disability entrepreneurship program. It's one of its kind in Malaysia. So we started in Selangor, and then the government even asked us to expand it to beyond Selangor to provide more opportunities to other people as well. And we have SAY Aspire, is an entrepreneurship program for youth entrepreneurs to penetrate the overseas market, especially for those who are already stable in business. I mean, they've already achieved their first million, for example, but then they don't know how to go further, how to push themselves. So basically what we do is we provide them coaching, mentorship program, and help them to, basically we just need a bit of push.
A little bit nudge to the right direction. But then these are not, it's not just applicable to those who have experience and are, obviously you have the programs that will take them to the even more next level. But I suppose, like, to start off with, because personally for me, I can be a bit intimidated when it comes to seeing a program and you're like, oh, there's this program, I'm not really sure what to expect. So say if I was like complete young, fresh, school student, and if I wanted to enter Selangor Youth Community and I were to join a particular program, for example, what are some of the skills that I might learn throughout this program?
So we have so many programs. So on top of my head, I think one program that is very good that I would like to encourage young people to join is the TEAM program. TEAM program is a 9-week personal and professional development module. You don't need to have any skills to enter the TEAM program. It's a collaboration with Princess Trust International under His Royal Highness King Charles. So this is our 3rd year already doing it. Basically, we give them opportunities to personal development modules, like team building, encourage them to integrate meaningfully into the community with the community programs. And then we also provide them opportunity with employment, connect them with the right employers, help them with how to write resumes, how to attend interviews. Besides that, if let's say you're already working, right, you already have your career and everything, but you want to be involved with something, you have one particular thing of your interest that you want to champion for your local community, for example, you can participate in our Beli Juara program. Beli Juara program is basically a seed funding where we give individuals or youth movement or organization, you don't even have to register. Basically, how Beli Juara came out, basically, we receive, for the past 5-6 years, we received so many inquiries and proposals from other states asking how can they be involved with SAY? Can they bring SAY to their state? I mean, so it's Selangor Youth Community, how to bring, right? So then we came up with this idea called a seed funding. Basically, fine if you're in Perak or Perlis or Negeri Sembilan, Sabah, Sarawak, you can apply to Beli Juara seed funding, and then we give you up to 3,000 ringgit for you to kickstart something in your local community, to do like mini library or teach the orang asli kids. And then last month we signed MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with ASEAN Foundation to expand Beli Juara to ASEAN region.
Wow.
Yeah, so people in ASEAN can also apply to the Beli Juara grant.
That is fantastic. Now, this is all incredibly exciting. I'm sure if you're tuning in right now, I'm speaking to Nurul Azwa Rodzi, the Chief Executive Officer of Selangor Youth Community. Now, if you are interested with what she was talking about, this is the correct question to ask. When is it normally the intake? When are the intakes? When do they start? And do they need to undergo any form of screening?
So we don't have basically each program we have at least one cohort per year, and some programs like team programs we have multiple cohorts. So I would like to strongly suggest to go to our social media website to check on which program that you're interested in, and then because when we have the recruitment, we usually will put teaser, poster, and everything. You can sign up. Like I said, there's no prerequisite in terms of the skills needed, but of course some program we will prioritize the underserved young people, marginalized community, and in terms of the screening, some programs require screening. Screening is not like something very formal lah. Sure. So screening, some we have interviews, some we have what we call as tester day, taste the program, because all of our programs are free. So we invest our resources, our time, dedication, energy into the program to make sure that we have the high impact out of it. So what we need from the participants basically is the commitment. So when we have the interview or the tester day is basically to see the commitment level of the participants.
Fantastic. Okay, well, the fact of the matter is, you said the magic word where a lot of people have, apart from intimidation of what to expect during programs, it is the cost usually. The fact of the matter is, it is free. So we're going to take a teeny tiny short break. I'm chatting with Nurul Azwa Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community, right here on Spectrum. Stick around, don't go anywhere. This is TRAXXfm.
Experience the excitement right here on TRAXXfm.
The big kicker started again. It looks dangerous to me in third.
Youth. Arts. Culture.
Spectrum. Youth, Arts, Culture. Every Tuesdays, 11:50 a.m., bringing you current issues, tips, insights, and more. Only on TRAXXfm.
This is Trax Momentum with me, Diyana. We are on Spectrum talking about New Year's, new skills. Now, the reason why it is a conversation for us to talk about is because, as we all know, when again we enter a new year, we're like, oh, I want to try something new. I want to try something different. Now, this particular conversation I'm having with Nurul Azwa Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community, is something for you to definitely really, really listen to. So far, we've found out more about what Selangor Youth Community is about. We've heard Azwa talk about the different programs that were available and even who they target to. But for now, welcome back to Azwa. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Now let's talk about why this foundation is important and how has it impacted our youth society.
Thank you, Diyana. So, in terms of impact, we have two categories of programs. First one is the mass, where the general young people can join and participate. It's more like one-off. And then we have another category which is more targeted, our flagship programs, to specific group of beneficiaries catering to specific needs. In terms of impact, within a short 5 to 6 years' time, we have impacted and reached out to a total of 313,873 young people, and we have generated 1 to 4.19 social return on investment. That means for every ringgit donated to SAY, we have generated 4.19 ringgit in social value for our beneficiaries. So why is this foundation important? I think in Malaysia, for a developing country like Malaysia, we need an independent organisation like SAY to fill in the gap in the ecosystem. Not just SAY, I believe there are many other organisations out there, independent organisations out there doing programs to cater to the needs in the society that are not being addressed properly or maybe not a priority. This category of the left behind people. So I believe that each of these independent organisations has our own niche area, and we do our best to ensure that we fulfill our role. For example, like SAY, mainly as a facilitator, I would say like a glue to connect the community sector, which is the beneficiaries, the private that can help with the funding, and then the government that can help with the facilities. So, because sometimes the problems that we solve sometimes, let's say, does not even require money. It just requires a bit of facilitation where we help to bridge, to create a bridge between the agencies, relevant agencies, and the beneficiaries. For example, they know that there are certain grants that exist, but they don't know how to apply, or the form is very complicated for them to fill in. So we do the engagement sessions and then have the communication.
Yeah, do you know, it is something that a lot of people take for granted when it comes to making applications for grants, for any programs for that matter. The number of times where you see all of these programs, or even grants, for example, that are available for us. People are like, oh yeah, that sounds great. But then in the end, lo and behold, they don't get it because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. But you have, obviously Selangor Youth Community, as well as your other collaborators, are the ones who assist you in helping the youth get to where they need to go. So how has the foundation developed throughout the years? Now, you have seen Selangor Youth Community in the longest possible way, because you were an intern coming from that point of time, and here you are. So tell us, what was the development throughout the years like?
We developed in a very fast-paced environment. I would say three main ingredients. First is the team. It's highly passionate and energetic young people. I don't even have to ask them to stay back or something. They will do it. And then we used to have quite a flexible working hours where as long as you settle the job. That's the first. And second, we have a clear objective, which is the roadmap. Thanks to Boston Consulting Group for the pro bono consultation back in 2015, giving us a roadmap. What is the milestone that we need to achieve throughout the 10 years of our establishment? And then the second one is the collaborators, I would say our partners. How we came about the partnership also from the roadmap, actually. In the roadmap, immediately when we established, the roadmap suggested the guidelines that we need to form strategic partnerships and focus on collaboration to identify talents and initiate capacity building for programs. So basically, because in Malaysia, I think we have like hundreds of NGOs, independent organisation, agencies and everything lah, doing all these sort of programs for the young people, for the vulnerable group, marginalised community. But we don't talk to each other. We work in silo. So, yeah, exactly. And now we fight over sponsorship.
Yeah. Why fight when you can work together and do something more wonderful for the benefit of mankind? It is really, really, just wonderful that you are trying to reach out to everyone. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, so basically, every of these organizations, we have our own, I would say, expertise. So we come about what we can bring to the table, and then we collaborate. So I would say the first 2 years of our establishment is quite significant in forming all these strategic partnerships. We sign MOUs with the welfare departments, for example. Signing the MOU, some people ask me, why do you need to sign MOU with the welfare department? Of course we have to, because otherwise it's very difficult for us to penetrate some institutions for our programs. Like, for example, we have the team program where we need to tackle the youth at risk, dropout students, the orphans, and also young offenders. Without the MOU, it would be very difficult for us to go to the institutions, like, for example, Sekolah Tunas Bakti, Asrama Akhlak, and things like that. So when we have the MOU, things becomes much more smoother. So that's just one example. And then in the roadmap as well, within 3 to 5 years of our establishment, we are supposed to work on policy making. Why policy making? Because no matter how many programs that we do, right? At the end of the day, it goes back to the top. We need to change whatever at the top to make sure that, it's a systematic change for everybody.
Absolutely.
So in our third year, we were involved with the state government alongside University Putra Malaysia, led by YB Khairuddin. to craft the Selangor youth policy. I think up to date, we are the only state in Malaysia that have our own youth policy. I think because Selangor, simply we have the largest number of youth population in Malaysia, 2.9 million of young people. And then as compared to other states, we have the dynamic of the urban area, rural area. And post-pandemic, how do we maneuver all of these categories of young people?
It sounds like there's so much going on, especially from the moment you started 6 years ago. And this organization has been around for how long now?
This is our 6th year.
This is the 6th year, and you have been there from day one, the get-go as an intern, and here you are now. By the sounds of it, of what you had told me, what Selangor youth community has experienced, it sounds as if you have done so much. How big is your team exactly? I mean, this is like a 50 people, project almost.
We have about 10 to 12, including the part-time, and then maybe intern, another 2 interns. Because we are NGO, you see, we need to make sure that we keep our OPEX, operation costs, at a minimum level to ensure that we can sustain. So I always tell the team, instead of looking for sponsorship, for example, 2023 baru you nak start, you start looking for the sponsorship. You should 2023 looking for fundraise for 2023, actually for 2025, at least 2 years, so that everyone has we are passionate young people working in a small NGO, but at the same time we need to ensure that our staff have the I would say stability. Stability in terms of they get the salaries on time. Because, passion is one thing. Commitment is another thing. But we shouldn't take it for granted. Because I know there are other NGOs that couldn't even pay salary for their staff. Because we also need to eat, you see.
Absolutely.
But we work a lot. I think we work a lot with our collaborators, with our partners. And I would say like one department, we have one-man show, for example, working with many other community partners to work on a project.
That's incredible. I mean, I wish I could talk to you all day about this. Okay, so what are the other efforts that the foundation has provided in helping our nation's youth at this point?
So in terms of nation building, I would say it's more on the policy making, and also back to roadmap as well. In our 10 years of establishment, the milestone that we need to achieve is to produce global champions coming from Selangor in the 4 focus areas. So basically, since day one, all we do is basically unearth the talents, give capacity building to them, develop them, polish all the way to become the global champions. So in terms of so I would say it's like besides the program, we also do the policy part so that the transformation can go hand in hand. And in terms of the policy making, we are also part of we have the 4 focus areas. We also have sports. We're part of the Visi Sukai Negara 2030, town halls, roundtables and everything. And I would say within 5 years of our establishment, we are already considered as the subject matter expert when it comes to young people, and then people invited us to roundtable, town halls, and recently we have the Rancangan Selangor Pertama. So we mainly recommend solutions or ideas how to solve the social issues for the young people.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. I'm chatting with Nurul, Azwa, Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community. Make sure you stick around. I'll be right back.
Experience the excitement right here. Right here on TRAXXfm.
The big kicker started again. It looks dangerous to me in third.
Youth. Arts. Culture.
Spectrum. Youth, Arts, Culture. Every Tuesdays, 11:50 a.m., bringing you current issues, tips, insights, and more. only on TRAXXfm.
Experience the excitement right here. Right here on TRAXXfm.
Welcome back. This is Tracks Momentum with me, Diyana. We are chatting with Nurul, Azwa, Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community on Spectrum. New year, new skills. Now, we've learned so much about the Selangor Youth Community, what they have achieved so far, what they have gone through over the past 6 years, what they are about, and what are they intending on achieving as well that's up and coming. Now, it is really, really important that I get you to really pay attention. If you feel like you've missed out or you caught a small part of the conversation, but you want to sort of re-listen to the entire interview, make sure you head to our Facebook page at TRAXXfm Official. Okay, so Azwa, back to the questions. Now, what are the upcoming events that the foundation has in line for the youth? Because I feel as though now that I've heard it for the first time, I'm going to bombard my cousins and everyone about it.
Okay, we have a few programs coming up. The one that I'm excited to share is a team program, the 9 weeks program, because this program anyone can join, especially if you are looking for opportunities in education, training, or employment. We have the, I would say, the pipeline that can channel you to that the 3 positive outcomes. It's a 9-week program, personal and professional modules, and then besides that, we have the Boleh Juara grant. I was strongly recommend to apply for that seed funding, because basically you can do, as long as you have the passion, you know what you want to do for your local community. You have it doesn't have to be 10-20 pages of proposals. One summary is fine, but we will ask you some questions like how you want to do it, your timeline and everything, and then we will help you along the way as well. We will guide you how to make sure that the program is not just one-off, to make sure that it becomes sustainable. The Boleh Juara opens to not just for Selangorians, for other young people or youth movements in other states across Malaysia and also in ASEAN. Besides that, we have upcoming one. We have Say Aspire, the entrepreneurship program for youth entrepreneurs to penetrate overseas market, and volunteering programs, generally volunteering program to become mentors or participants in our program. Yeah,
fantastic. Okay, this is all super exciting. I'm sure if you're tuning in right now and you happen to know any people who might be suitable to join any of these programs, tell them how can they participate. What's
basically you can go to our social media.
Okay.
Go to our social media. Instagram is our Instagram handle at Selangor Youth. Facebook Selangor Youth Community, or you can go to our website. Basically we have the forms, but then if you want to quickly see the updates, you can just go to social media. We usually upload the teaser, the poster, recruitment poster and everything, and then you just click the link and sign up. It's easy as that. Yeah.
I think I'm just going to say this because Azwa and I were talking off air as well, discussing on how other people can get involved with it. You don't have to be the youth, but you could support the organization itself. If you happen to be a private organization that is interested, you could definitely go to their Instagram account or the social media accounts. Again, at Selangor Youth, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and just get in touch, ask them, what can you do to support the youth of the country? Now, bearing in mind, whilst they say, oh yeah, it is Selangor Youth Community, but then you could help more than that before you even realize it. Now, unfortunately, we've completely run out of time. I wish I could expand some more, about this. Is there anything that you'd like to say to our listeners?
Maybe just a simple message for our young people out there. There are actually many opportunities out there. There are also many agencies and independent organizations trying their best to cater to the needs and help those who are left behind. So for our young people, this is your prime age. You should open yourself to many doors and possibilities, explore the world, participate in social or community programs. Don't let other people define you. You define yourself and your success. But first, you need to get out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself, and be surprised at how far you can go.
That's fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Azwa. It has been an absolute pleasure. Here I am having a chat with Nurul Azwa Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community. Thank you for doing what you do, for doing your very best to build a great community for our youth in Selangor, even Malaysia for that matter, and then taking them to the next level. I really hope that you guys get all the good things good for you, basically.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. Well, there you have it. That is Spectrum New Year, New Skills. I was speaking to Nurul Azwa Rodzi, the CEO of Selangor Youth Community. Again, if you want to find out more information, head to their social media accounts at Selangor Youth. But I will be right back, so don't go anywhere.
Experience the excitement right here on TRAXXfm.
This is TRAXXfm's Trax Momentum with me, Diyana, all the way till 2 p.m. Now, we've got the news coming up at noon, so make sure you stick around for that. And in the meantime, stay in touch with us with the hashtag TRAXXfm every time you tweet. Now, if you missed out on the interview for today's Spectrum, go to TRAXXfm Official on Facebook and check out the live session that we just had, because it is well worth listening to, okay? Anyways, I'll see you, well, not actually see you, but I'll catch you in the next hour. Enjoy the tunes. This is TRAXXfm.